Carlton Town TV on a Saturday without a game, unfortunately, but thought we'd give you guys an update because we didn't manage to on Wednesday. So I'm here with Mark. Firstly, we hosted a minute silence for Jordan Sinnott on Wednesday. Really sad, but the club is, I believe, making a shirt, and other clubs around are.
Yeah. It's a tragic situation and event. You've got to feel for everybody involved, particularly his family, and I think it's been fantastic. The entire football was pulled round. The amount of shirts that you've seen, including professional clubs being sent through. Me being a Derby fan, they had a minute's applause for him last night's game, and even the players stopped and clapped. And you only wish everybody best for the future that's involved, but terrible, and you just have to feel for everybody.
That is a real shame. I just thought it was worth mentioning that on behalf of the club. Our condolences and thoughts go out. But we'll cut to Carlton stuff and lighter topics as such. So we'll go over the game on Wednesday. So game on Wednesday, cup game. Bingham's website billed it as the biggest game they'd ever played, and I mean, to be fair, kind of lived up to that. Like, what did you make of credit where credit's due? They were a good side, weren't they?
Yeah, well, we knew there was a good side. They're flying high in their league. Probably going to go on and win it. I take it as a compliment that they consider Carlton Town as the biggest game they've ever played. I don't know what their history is or anything, but it shows where we are as a club, and the teams are looking up to us. As far as the game goes, there was a good side. Credit to them. I think the conditions was tricky for both teams, and they give it a really good go. From our point of view, we the five lads who was on the bench on Saturday all started, so it gives us a chance to get minutes in for them. And it's one of those. I've read all sorts of things where they deserve to win or didn't deserve to win. People see things differently. I think over the entire game, the 90 minutes and extra time, I think Carlton deserved to win the game. They had their chances, they had their moments, but ultimately, they had a bit of good luck. They must have had 6 or 7 hit players on the line and things like that. So on another day, we could have scored more. But I can only I praise them. They did a great account of themselves. Worked tirelessly, and they can be proud of what they achieved on the night.
They obviously took the lead and brought the game to us, and it was to some extent a bit of a. I think it caught us a bit off guard, possibly the slow start. Like, what were you thinking when they were bringing it early doors?
Well, you've seen it. Obviously the first 15 minutes, we looked comfortable, and then gradually they grew into the game, which is mainly down to us not taking the chances we created in them 15 minutes. And then gradually they had this probably 20-minute spell where they was looking on top and looking more likely to score, and of course they did.
Yeah.
And our response was to bring the lads on who we didn't really want to play. We wanted them to be fresh for today, but obviously we weren't going to sit there and lose the game. So with instant response, there was 3 changes came on, and that seen us through in the end. But I don't want to take anything away from Bingham. They're a very, very good side. I'm sure they'll go on and win their league, and who knows what the future holds for them. But great credit to them.
You mentioned the 3 changes. It wasn't they weren't like it was a very one-fronted change, wasn't it? 3 attacking players came on, totally changed our shape, and we just went for it, and then we saw the results from that. So talk me through the goals, because the action then came thick and fast after those 3 changes.
Everybody knows that me and Tom are never just going to lose a game. In fact, if we're winning 2-1, we often bring another forward on to try and win 3-1. So everybody knows we're never just going to sit back. But obviously, Darryl's not played many minutes, and he started on a heavy pitch. He was getting tired. We moved 1 or 2 things around, and sort of thought, well, if we are going to lose, we're going to lose by having a go. And of course, when Aaron comes on, he holds the ball up. That's massive. Tyler Blay, if he gets a chance, he scores, and that's been evident all season. And of course, that happened, didn't it? He got his chance and scored. And then Mammy again. He's been short of minutes. He's been out and had a game for Radford last week. He was supposed to be playing for Radford today. But he's got that bit of quality as well, and obviously he came on and sealed it. But to be fair, I think in extra time, I think they probably run out of steam more than us, and in extra time they were sort of hanging on a little bit in the end, which I'm glad it only finished 2-1, because it would have been a bit belittling if we'd have scored some of them chances that we did have. But it was a good game, it was a good workout, and we wanted to leave Aaron and Tyler off the pitch, but we needed them in the end, so that's what happened.
And how good, therefore, were you when we had to go to extra time? So obviously, talking pre-match, it was about giving some guys some game time, resting a few lads, and then that happens.
It's a disaster, in all honesty. The last thing we wanted was extra time, especially with the big game coming up today. And the pitch was that bad. It was, most of the lads said that they were struggling to walk on Thursday, including the young ones who all said that they was feeling it. So, maybe it's done us well that the pitch hadn't recovered in time. And I think yesterday's rain did us a favour in that respect, because we had got some heavy legs. But, that's football.
We then obviously put the game to bed with the last goal. Like, we're now through to the next round. The competition's a bit different to previous years, obviously, with Notts County and Forest fielding under 23 teams. Like, what kind of difference does that make to the competition as a whole?
I think it just makes it more exciting, to be honest. There's potential for some bigger games, and maybe get Forest down here or Notts County down here. But obviously, Baseford will have other things to say about that, because they've got Forest this week. The more teams in it and the bigger teams in it, the better for the competition. From our point of view, I'm not saying we wouldn't like to win it, because why would you not? But our main focus is getting in the playoffs, which is why we made the changes we made Wednesday night. We wanted to save players for today's game and the league fixtures, so we'll probably do the same in the next round of the cup, whoever we get, because ultimately playoffs is our aim. Whatever we can still get in them, that's what we want to focus on.
And that's what we have a squad for, realistically.
Of course it is, yeah.
Before we move on to some oddly more humorous things, there was a big takeaway from the evening of there was accusations of racism, and some fans not behaving particularly well. No one wants to see that, do they?
No, I mean obviously you can't say too much. I don't know if anybody will deal with it or won't deal with it. It's been reported. I know the Notts Post have picked up on it, but obviously when Aaron came on, he was subject to some racist comments from the sidelines, whoever that was, and I know they've looked at the videos to see if they can pick it up, and we've got pictures, so we know the person involved. And just to make matters worse, that person then came over to the dressing rooms at the end of the game and carried it on. So yes, it got a little bit lively and unsavoury, but there's no room for it. There's no need for it. It's a game of football at the end of the day, and it's just 22 footballers on a football pitch. It's nothing to do with colour, race, or where you're from. It's all about a game of football. So let's hope that one day they stamp it out. But for now, we have to put up with what happens sometimes, and obviously Aaron and Darryl were particularly upset by it, and we just had to get everything calmed down.
I guess the important thing to remember on that is that there were 99% of fans in here who were just supporting a game.
Of course,
in reality.
There's always the odd one everywhere you go, isn't there, that just can't abide by what the protocol is and the rules, and they've got to sort of try and belittle people. And fair play to Aaron. Nobody knew it was happening while the game was taking place. It was only when they came over to the dressing rooms that he really lost his control with it. But he just got on with it, and that's credit to Aaron.
Moving on to, like I say, more humorous topics. We talked about the pitch and the game being off today. I understand there was a bit of a Twitter spat between yourself and Tommy and then Rhys Bertram this morning.
Yeah, well, Rhys is Rhys, and me and Tom were me and Tom, I suppose, ultimately. I mean, I came down and looked at the pitch yesterday, and there's no way the game was going to be on. I mean, literally, if I'd have stood still yesterday walking across the pitch, I wouldn't have got off it. It's that soft, and you just sink. I mean, in all fairness, nobody wanted it on more than us. I mean, Bob had a bad result last week, or well, not a bad result, but they felt it was a bad result, and so we thought we had a great result. So we was high on confidence. We've got no injuries, so we was looking forward to it. Obviously, we got a little bit knocked by Reece, making comments that we was frightened of them or scared of them. No, not true at all. We wanted to play them. We was buzzing for the game, and we feel we could get a result and bring it on from there. But yeah, I mean, Reece was down here in the summer, and I think he gave every indication he wanted to stay, but for whatever reason it didn't work out, and he moved on. So, but he's sent some messages and Aaron made up. So it's all good. It's all light-hearted and a bit of fun, and.
And Reece, we're mates, but we beat you once in the cup final when you played for Baseford, mate. We'll do it again when you come back. I also thought I'd touch on an expansion in our media team. So I realise I'm not down here as much as I usually am, but I understand away at Sheffield that you met our new reporter, the Irish Nottingham Forest supporter, Eamon Dumfrey, is it?
I do meet some characters doing the interviews from time to time, and for some reason it always seems to be me, not Tom. I don't know why that happens, but. So that one caught me out cold. I wasn't expecting that. But
well, I mean, hopefully this interview has got a lot smoother. And then to end it, you spoke about the fact you're a Derby supporter, and I watched the game last night. What a match!
I just thrive on the fact that we won a game.
Well, I mean, it was got more convincing than recent.
It was a great game, and I enjoy it while it lasts, because we'll probably lose the next one.
well, we won't touch on it when that happens. Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Mark, for your time, and cheers. I hope this has been better than your Irish one.
Yes, thanks a lot.
Cheers.